Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wilfred Taylor Reserve, nestled in the hills just to the south of Adelaide. I said it last week, the spring is doing its best to poke its head between the clouds, and another absolutely beautiful day for rugby today. I'm joined in commentary at the moment by Matt Whitten. Pete Cross is just doing his after-game duties, and he will come and join us as we go.
Thank you.
I think what we'll do is we see the teams come out. We will make mention, yesterday was Quinton Fleischfresser's funeral. We lost him last week, age 41. Huge. Our hearts go out to Kerry and Archer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's far too soon. And it was a good attendance here at the clubhouse for the funeral, and very respectful.
And Quinton's spiritual home was Onkaparinga, even though he was a referee, and he was completely impartial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely impartial, obviously, but his spiritual home was Onkaparinga. There will be a minute's silence for him. Just taken too young, 41, and passed away last week.
Yeah, far too soon.
And George Doughty, obviously a massive friend of Quinton's. Very, very moving video on Facebook with George seeing him off with a haka.
Yes.
Very, very proud of his Maori roots.
Yeah,
George. So,
George was very close with the family.
So we will just take a step back and we will share a moment's silence for Quinton. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and as we get ready to go, you'll see the officials wearing the black armbands. In the middle, Guillermo Garcia. We did speak about him when we asked the question about what he did for a living. Interestingly, Matt, he's a psychologist.
Yes.
Can you think of a profession better for a rugby referee?
No, not really.
I mean, we've always said like school teachers and policemen would always be very good because they're used to taking control. But psychologists, I like it. Just a little bit of reverse psychology. Are you sure you want me to give you a penalty?
Yeah, that's right.
So they look forward to that one. As per usual, he gets people to watch in Spain, so we've got people watching in Spain.
Oh, excellent.
A little bit further afield, there's a brand new first 5'8" for all Collegians, a young man by the name of Sam Evans. He's from Wales, and all his family are watching in Wales, so thank you very much. Or Crioso, and welcome to the stream. And a little bit closer to home in Streaky Bay, Tim Dawes' sister, Prue Dawes, is watching. So I've got lots of shout-outs that I had to get out of the way. And they didn't wait for me, so we are off and running. Onkaparinga will be attacking the right of your screen. A little bit interesting how we've started. Rockaborough makes the tackle. Conspicuous by his absence pre-game, Troy Doughty. I normally manage to get a word with him, but I think he's switched on for this one. This is the first time that we've had a live stream that's been the Big Four, been any after the Anzac Day, obviously. So we are absolutely looking forward to it. The first time we've seen one for real points.
Yeah, this is one of our bigger games for the year, and we're really happy to be live streaming this one.
Yeah, so it's interesting, an early penalty for all Collegians, but it's interesting. I did have a chat with Alex Rockaborough before the game, and something he noticed. Now, it doesn't feel like a huge wind, Matt, but it's basically running from the bottom left of your screens up to the top right of your screens. It's not...
It's very un-Onkers. It's not what we expect here at the ground.
I'm wondering whether it switches, because the interesting thing is, all Collegians very, very aware as is everybody,
Yeah.
of the left boot of Kurt McKinley.
Oh, yes.
With a wind like this, it's adding 20 metres onto what he can already do.
Yep.
You cannot give away penalties anywhere. So we're off again into midfield with Man. Man will find a gap. Man with one to beat, has a support runner to his left, gets a support runner, can they get it away? Yes, they can. Old Collegians start early.
Yes.
Less than 2 minutes on the clock.
A strong support play all the way through there.
Yeah, and Gary Mann really showing a weakness in midfield. Nothing special, just 2 missed tackles, Matt.
Yep, perfectly through a gap.
Had the support on the outside, and that's old Chipsy. Good offload as well to start them off as they wanted to start. Couldn't have asked for a better start, could they?
No, not really.
And we got our look at the Kia Picanto, Matt.
Yeah.
That is supplied by Morn Team Kia. It is a raffle prize, and all of the raffle tickets will go to help fund all of the state programs in South Australia.
Yeah, so really important that anyone that wants to support the state kids gets on board with that one, I reckon.
Yeah, contact South Australia, and there we see that wind again. It's going to be really interesting. I watched the reserves game.
Yep.
Anything that was kicked, as we just see that other try again, and that's Onkaparinga coach isn't going to enjoy looking at that. You wouldn't have thought. But I was watching the reserve game, and anything that was kicked towards our cameras struggled to find its way into touch. So you've got to be really careful for a couple of things with these conditions. One, McKinley will punish you, and two, you've got to find your touch. Rockaborough underneath it.
Yeah, I think anything high is going to be hard to handle as well. It's a little bit swirly. It's very deceiving. You can't see too much in the trees, but it's in the middle.
And the sun is in no Collegians. It's going to be a really interesting one. It'll be interesting to find out who won the toss and who chose. We are joined by Mr. Cross. Welcome, Crossy.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. It's great to be here. Great to do another season on the mic.
Little knock on the back.
Already missed a terrific try.
Yeah, it's interesting, Matt, and I just thought I'd get your opinion, because obviously last week they moved Big Max, the Fijian Max Cargi, into the centres for Woodville, and he showed that there's a little bit of a soft underbelly there at times. Is that something you worked on? And certainly that's going to wake Onkaparinga up.
Oh, look, I think Onka's obviously got their structures. It's just a matter of making sure you execute. So we'll see how it plays out.
It's the first scrum that I can think of, and talking to Crossy beforehand, it's a little bit of an area. Tips flew out the line. Chris Bartlett. Interesting battle of the wingers as well today, which we'll get onto when we have a chance. Doughty will send it out to Evans. To Takiri. Little pick and go, and they managed to offload again. Now they'll come back to this near side. Just straighten up to make some numbers. Old Collegians quite well set. Takiri again will just put his head down and go. Doughty again sends it to the far side. Onkaparinga do look as if they're trying to settle into a little bit of a structure after that early strike by Old Collegians. Doughty will have a snipe, tries to find an offload, does find an offload. We're off again. Evans, flat out the back, man and ball.
What a shot.
Good shot. Came from the number 13. And
We're
just waiting for the team sheet to come through from Old Collegians.
I might be able to help you out on that one, Dave.
Man and ball. You were saying it was a little bit of a problem area for you, the front row at the moment at Old Coles.
Yeah, we've got the great props shortage of the Collegians continues. Too many healthy lunches going around the schoolyards, I think.
Too many salads. Jamie Oliver's got a lot to answer for.
So yeah, we had quite a few threes play twos, and then there'll end up being some twos that'll play a fair bit of footy in this game, first grade, it's very tiring in that front row.
It's probably fair to say that most clubs have a similar issue.
Yep.
You know, so.
Little kick over to Fleetwood Piper, and just while we get that penalty and we wait for the ball to come back, we have been nothing but impressed with these two Onkaparinga wingers. The one nearest to us wearing the number 11 shirt is Matt King. First year playing rugby, never played rugby before in his life. He is an AFL convert. Was very close to a hat-trick last week.
Yeah.
Very, very close to a hat-trick last week. And over on the far side is a young man by the name of Don Chappell. And I would put what little money I have, Crossy, on him being the fastest winger in the league.
Yeah.
So him against Fleetwood Piper and King against Coutser. Oh, that's exciting.
We might see that foot race today.
Yeah,
I think.
That is exciting. I'd like to, I mean, and Dom Chappell taking on Smoking Joe from Brighton will be fun as well. A little bit messy, that's gone forward.
Yeah, and quite sound is Dom at, with his defence as well. So it'll. There's not much of him, but he knows how to grab a leg and then grab another leg and bring him to the ground.
First year of seniors or second?
First year of seniors.
First year of seniors, wonderful.
But been playing most of the junior grades. Yep. Yeah.
So another scrum that they've held up well so far. Front row of Dawes, Howlett and Killick. Doughty again. Looks blind, not much there, so just does a little U-turn and then we'll give it to Evans. Manages to get through the first one. Good offload as well from Evans. Rockapore has managed to strip that one away, and he has.
A couple of good phases, then just spoilt by a strip.
Well,
yeah, it's Buller in there. He's a bit like Doherty, very good on that strip. Very good at realising that the player's already held. There's a chance to attack the ball.
I think it's going to be that reserves grade game was one of the most intriguing and enthralling games I've ever watched. It wasn't the tidiest game of rugby, but my word, you couldn't even blink.
Yeah, that's how a reserve grade game should be.
My word.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a big step and he's through again. Manages to get through another tackle. Not releasing. Battle of the Evanses at number 10. Nathan Evans for Onkaparinga. Sam Evans making his debut for Old Collegians.
First season with Old Collegians, yep. He was over playing for the Singapore Cricket Club last year, a Welshman.
We won't hold that against him.
All through his juniors, so
I did say that it's a weird wind. It looks absolutely beautiful and absolutely perfect today, but it's not.
It's not, no.
The Collegians have got lucky with a knock-on. And I think that swirling wind did it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely different out in the middle.
Yeah, there was nothing. I was walking around and I heard Alex Rockaborough mention the wind and I was like, are you mad? And then I actually went and stood out there.
Yeah.
And, no, it's definitely out there. So another scrum for Old Collegians. They have held their own so far.
Oh, Coutser handled well. Well read from Onkers there.
He's been a great addition to the Old Collegian sides. Tristan Coutser, and Campion will get his hands on. Tries to get closer. Just does the simple things, does Jack Campion, an inside ball. Almost covered off. And I'm giggling because I've just spent the last 10 minutes trying to write out the Old Coles team sheet and I've just been handed it. Dawes gets to 5 minutes, 5 metres. Out the back.
Oh,
drop goal from Evans.
Oh,
I think there was a touch on it. Drifted away. He knew the penalty was coming. Now, we did talk. I was talking to you, I think, about the fact that he's a Northern Hemisphere fly half, and there'll be a lot of Australians at this point, Matt. He'll be shouting at the tablet or phone or TV.
Yeah.
That's not how Australian rugby's played.
That's not, but that's how Northern Hemisphere play it.
Well, he knows the penalty is coming. It's 3 points or 3 points. Right. So not going to lose anything, but then he'll be overruled. And hang on, no, we don't kick penalties here.
And yet we're going for a scrum now anyway.
Don't kick penalties here.
He's a very calm and relaxed player. He's been a great addition to the club. Just a real controlling 10. Not so much a flashy 10, just organises his forward pack, organises his back line.
Rockaborough will look blind. Horn has Fleetwood Piper, gives it to Fleetwood Piper.
Easy.
Easy finish. Just ran out of numbers. Apple was stuck between hell and high water at that point.
Nothing Pace could do there. There was a nice little overlap created, wrapping around the corner of that scrum.
Yeah, you know, we're doing the right things in training, and you know, we're working towards next week. I'm like, no, I'm just saying hello.
I didn't ask, mate.
I was just saying hello. Everyone goes into like sports interview mode.
Even I did that, didn't I?
It's so
Even
fun.
I did that, yeah.
Oh, we're back. Sorry about that. We lost you for a moment, but we are back. And you haven't missed much. They missed the conversion, and I think it's just going to be difficult kicking-wise today. So Old Coles have the ball inside their own 22. Box kick.
See it hang.
Doughty underneath it. Beats the first one. Again, looks to run a U-turn. Just trying to find a little bit of space. Is enveloped eventually by the blue and red jerseys. Little pick and drive. And they'll go again. I think this is the Onkaparinga that we're seeing in 2020. They like to starve the opposition of ball.
It was very effective in reserve grade.
I think we worked it out last week, that in the first 40 minutes, Woodville had the ball for approximately 8 of it.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yep. I didn't actually notice that, and I was there at the game. But
Woodville had possession in the first 5 minutes as that one drops and skips away, and that's using the wind. Was that Rockaborough who kicked that? Very, very smart kicker, Alex Rockaborough. Yeah, Woodville had like the first 5 minutes and then didn't see it again until right at half time.
It's really the best thing you can work on in all levels of rugby, is just maintaining possession, building phase after phase. You either break or the other team gets frustrated and gives away a penalty in desperation. You just get bored of not having the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Line out off the top. Into midfield to Evans. Adam Takiri looks at halfway. Evans again. Flat ball into midfield. Gone sideways and not very much forward. Now they do go forward. As Whittam will find a way through. Smith. Ryan Evans in at number 5. Oh, ball between the two.
Oh, excellent skills.
Takiri again.
Incredible from a first season player. That was incredible.
King, our first season player, and he's just obviously a ball player, isn't he? He knows how to handle
Well, Fleetwood Piper rushed out the line. Good inside ball from McKinley though. Evans in. Then Doughty will look for space over on that far side. Oh, Coots are trying to sell the fact that it went out on the full. Here we see Mr. King.
Watch the offload here, though. Puts a knee down straight away, knows he's allowed to, shuffles it, even surprises the prop.
Yeah. I think was that Adam Takiri, who
No.
I kind of had a pop at Adam Takiri in his hair last week because he braided it, but apparently it's there for a reason.
Okay.
It's to keep it out of his eyes because it's too short to go all the way back to a bun. So the things you learn when you don't have hair.
The styles,
Yeah.
the various styles that are possible.
They're away again with Ryan Evans, and Onkaparinga are just edging towards that old Collegians line. Doughty looks to the far side to Devine. Devine will just push his head down, try and roll towards the line. Doughty again, doing it with the big boys. Now he will look to Evans. Evans threw it to no one in particular, but it managed to get out. Again, they edge ever closer. Doughty now will look, and they will go. And Evans finds himself with an absolute acre of space parting like the Red Sea in front of him. He will score one of the easiest tries of his career.
Almost could have gone himself there, Doughty, I think.
Well, no, I remember seeing Troy give him an easier one, I think, a
It
few
was
weeks ago. Yeah,
over,
right on the
over
line.
on that far side, yeah. I don't think he even had to move his feet for that one.
But really good from Onkers there. That was 5 quick phases.
Yeah.
Actually accelerating their phases and showing a bit more width than what's seen in the reserve grade. And then it just those ball runners just a little bit wider, sucked in the inside centre, sucked in 10, and then that's the result of the opposite 10 walks one in.
Yeah. It is a genuinely exciting competition between these two backlines. And it's been a while since we've had that. Most of our focus over the last couple of weeks has been on forwards.
Yep.
And this is the first time that we've had two genuinely exciting backlines. Pazinski, who sits in the centres for Onkaparinga, is a big, strong runner. And the two wingers for first year senior rugby for Dom Chappell and then first year rugby completely for Matt King, they have been incredibly impressive. And taking on, now I remember, I was thinking about it today, I've always called Fleetwood Piper a rising star, but I think he's kind of, that's gone now. He's established now.
Yep.
And Coutser and Ollie Horn, who obviously played as, that one is just pulled to the left. Ollie Horn playing at a very, very high level last year. That back three is exciting. And then the back three for Onkaparinga, the two new boys, and then the very, very experienced and steady hand of McKinley at the back.
Yeah. That's changed the dynamics of our backs. It's been great there, and a couple other new fellas coming in with Ben Russell as well, and just giving us a little bit more go forward in the forwards.
Little knock on, and this is what Onkaparinga do, and they did it very, very well last week, and we've seen that they are susceptible when they don't have the ball. There is a little bit of soft spots with them, but as an old coach of mine says, if you maintain possession for 80 minutes, the very worst you can do is draw.
Yeah.
For one of the worst games of rugby you might ever see. Yep.
Oh, I don't mind an arm wrestle.
And a nil all.
A nil all.
Yeah.
Evans. Again, he looks for that left corner. Horn will sit underneath it. So we'll see Chappell one-on-one. He gets away from Chappell probably a little bit too easily. Then steps out of another one, works through the middle, gets all the way back to halfway. Now all Collegians have got time and space. Evans again to Mann. Mann with a flat ball to Bartlett. Bartlett will send it out to Farid. Comes back inside. I think the knock on. A forward pass from Bartlett.
Sensational return from the kick from Horn, but just here, really like to see him just trying to avoid that sideline. Just pull in a phase, one pass early, if Man had taken it in, and just build. You get up to that 4-5 phases, and you saw what happened just moments earlier. It's an easy handover, really.
Chris Bartlett, who before the game was asking for a shout out, and I said to him, do something good. He's done something good so far, and then that one. Seemed to think that I should shout him out for becoming a father. I pointed out that that happens to a lot of people every day, and it's not special. 20 minutes gone on the Wojtek scoreboard. 5 points to 10. So kicker's not having a great day so far. McKinley out to Chappell now. Chappell's got a little bit of space. Can he get around the outside? Horn does well to bring him in. Hart would have been in mouth a little bit for Ollie Horn. To Keary again. There's some big boys out on this near side if they can get it moving, which they do. Evans. Doughty. Oh, just a little bit too far in front. I think he said that's gone back and he's allowed the kick, which will probably go dead.
It's gone dead.
It has gone dead, so we'll come back for the scrum anyway. So nothing ventured, nothing gained.
It's almost after we've hit that 20-minute nerves, like that, the sort of nerves you'd normally get in those first minutes of the game. It's just a little bit helter-skelter from both teams.
So I spoke to Troy after the game last week, who says he's still complaining of broken ribs. I don't think I've ever seen Troy play a game without an injury.
It might be the curse of the live stream.
I can't imagine what he'd be like if he was fully fit. So Old Collegians scrum. Penalty. Yeah, just not driving straight. Eyes like a hawk from Guillermo Garcia.
I haven't seen this referee
Picking
before.
up, he's a psychologist from Leon in Spain.
Lovely.
He always likes to tell me what he's doing. And I did have a little look on Facebook beforehand, and he made news back in Spain for being a referee in Adelaide.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
That's good. But he seems to be enjoying himself, which is really good to see.
Yeah, he almost runs around with a big smile on his face.
Well, why wouldn't you? Best seat in the house. Man.
We really want our referees out there enjoying it. If they're enjoying it and the players are enjoying it, it's going to be a great game.
Rockaborough again out to Dawes. Backhands again. Oh, he didn't really want it, so just shifted it as quick as he could.
It's lost ball,
to
but
Billett.
Hands again.
Well, this is interesting because we talked about the last 2 weeks, Matt, and I'd be interested to get your feedback on this. Obviously, we had the Port game when we were here 2 weeks ago, and then last week against Woodville.
Yep.
Those 2 weeks, Uncas were really quite happy not to contest at all in the ruck.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to get pinged for hands in the ruck, so they've obviously made a decision that today they're going to try and compete, possibly because they back themselves a little bit more defensively
or maybe
against
it's just
those last 2
pressure.
weeks.
Maybe it's just the pressure in those rucks, you know. So if you've got that pressure and you're feeling that pressure, you'll do things that you don't normally do.
Again, the lineup's just been a little bit scrappy for Old Collegians. They do make use of it.
It's the lucky ugly line out.
Not coming out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good defence from Onkaparinga.
But it's a concern early in the game already, the line out not looking sharp. Normally you start to see the replacements come in the second half, which disrupts it, but already with the starting 15 having problems.
Not the set piece I imagine that they would have trouble with today.
Can we blame it on the wind?
No. I'm assuming Nick Howlett will be blaming it on the wind.
Sitting here still in my reserve grade jersey, I'll blame it on the wind.
So Onkaparinga scrum. Evans. Oh, just missed McKinley. And that's a knock on in a horrible, horrible position because it gives them both sides. And when you've got a number 8 like Mann and a halfback like Rockaborough, this is meat and two veg for them.
The last try was a scrum in this similar position.
Exactly the same position, and Fleetwood Piper walked over.
And, oh, look at this. Yeah, I mean, McKinley would have been, knowing him well, he would have been loading up for a massive left foot kick.
Yeah, the wiper was on.
Sitting back in the pocket, and it's that old standing call you're asking your 10 to give it to me standing, I'm not moving forward. And he's punched it into that space in front of him, expecting him to run onto it.
So they have overloaded. Kutzer is working. I like that they overloaded. It seems to be going away. So Horn is wandering over to that blind side now. Doughty gets his foot on it. And his hands on it, and the turnover. Take a bow, Troy Doughty.
Open up. He's an absolute wizard in those positions.
I tell you what, Talked about the battle of the back threes. This is the battle of the halfbacks as well.
Closely. I'd imagine it's a foot. He quite enjoys putting the little
He
foot
does.
up.
He gets the foot out. So he's onside, onside, foot out.
Absolute pest.
In the best of ways.
In the best ways that you want to be. Flankers and halfbacks.
I do feel like that we have to clarify that. I did get told off by somebody's mum a couple of weeks ago.
It's a rugby compliment.
That's right.
I gave someone the nickname The Worm in due deference to Dennis Rodman because he was a pest as well. And apparently his mum was none too pleased. Smith on the back. Doughty again. Into midfield. Devine again. I tell you what, that boy puts his hand up for work more often than not. Doughty. Evans spent it before it hit his account.
They're lucky though. There's a penalty here, I think.
Yeah.
But his head's down a bit. He's
Yeah,
going to have to pick himself up a bit.
That's 2 on the bounce though for him.
Yeah.
It is going to get inside his head. And McKinley from halfway is probably going to start looking at the 5 metre line.
I think he'll be there.
He's coming near side. He just lazily drives that one.
Could have kept that in.
Oh, now the flag goes up. It was a decent attempt by Coutser. But we all called it, I think. Spot on, Mr. Witten. We go down to that 5 metre line. That's the danger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again,
so
it's a different feel to what the Northern Hemisphere rugby was. But remember when Johnny Wilkinson was in his prime, you couldn't give a penalty from 50 metres out because you just the scoreboard would tick over. Now you just find yourself.
So Onkaparinga now just got to convert some pressure now. They're down on the line.
Oh, it's an interesting one. Back inside. I think that's Van Eyck in the 24 shirt. It is.
It was.
Now the edge closer again. Doughty to Takiri. Can he get it down? There's a little bit of celebration, but held up.
How's our replay look there? Do we get close enough?
Oh, I don't think we'll get a sign. It's a nice little line-up move.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll get a shot of it. It's Takiri who comes next. Look, I mean, benefit of the doubt to Coutser, I think, for getting an arm underneath it, but it's an Onkaparinga scrum in a really strong position. King on this near side, they've gone the other way. Out the back to McKinley, he will straighten up. Can't get away from Horn. Pick and drive again. Again, they just try and take it inch by inch, and this time they do get there.
What a game we have on our hands.
I think that's Van Eyck who got there.
I think it may have been.
Martin Van Eyck, the Instagram superstar. If you don't follow on Instagram, you should. You want some gym inspiration, he's your man.
Okay, I'll get right onto it.
His arms are bigger than my thighs.
So did it in 4 phases then, one shorter than last time. And kept it in the forward pack, it just rumbled over.
I really like this new Onkaparinga, I have to be honest, Matt. I really like how they're going, because there's been lots and lots of times where we've seen them, they've tried to throw it around and they've, you know, thrown away big leads because they're doing too much. I really like what they're doing this year.
It's just so positive around the place at the moment. There's guys that are getting injured and not being part of it and are saying, look, I'm just missing it because it's such a positive vibe. So it is great.
And Doughty with, we have our first cameo from
Red.
Yeah.
The foghorn.
Won't be the last, I don't think.
We think it was Marty.
But Troy Doughty took over the kicking duties and knocked it over, so they will put their noses in front. Smith, Van Eyck again. Now he's got his tail, gets it away to Devine. Rockaborough does well to drag the big fella down. Witten.
Out to Koo.
Doughty sends it over the top. That's going to bounce and just skip its way to the line. That's one of those where don't really know what to do with it. And Kuta did well just to shepherd it out. It's Tito Matiaha, who found himself on the receiving end of a yellow card last week. Just got a bit scrappy towards the end of the game last week. Campion, the king of Tregenza Oval, off the top. Man again, more solid in midfield. Takiri and Devine looking after him. Depends on how quickly the referee calls that a maul.
If he's called it, this is turned over.
No penalty. So I don't think he had called it.
Okay, interesting.
I think that's the way that we get rid of this.
It's unlucky.
I think that's the way that we get rid of this surrender tackle, where people drop their knee to the floor. Call it maul real quick.
I agree.
If you're not hitting the ground almost immediately after contact, it's a maul.
Yeah. And actually, at the lower levels, the end result is you get players running at a better body height. You know, you don't want to be caught standing bolt upright. It's not good positive rugby, and you're going to be caught a number of times. So
I mean, that's been Gary Mann's career, though. He does run very, very upright.
But then as soon as you get trapped, you've got to really force yourself down real quick.
Oh, nice little move. We'll send it to Billet. Billet will rumble for around 10 metres, but the pest is there again.
There's Troy and Steele on that.
Takiri, little show, and then just powers his way through. Devine lost it on the blind side to the referee. There was a knock on there. That one's slightly more obvious. Bartlett manages to pick it up. Rockaborough, near side again, out to Kuta. Smith with a massive shot just after the ball went. Then out the back to Horn. Horn, too many weak picks on it. No advantage for the knock on.
But this week was great to watch. It was a strip.
Just stole it. He's come to play, Troy Doughty, because like I said, I normally get to speak to him before a game. I haven't spoken to him. He is a young man in a zone today.
He's the master of that strip. Could pay money to have him teach me the ways of the of how he does those strips.
I don't think he knows how he does it either. It's just some things are natural to some people. And
do you rip it up? Do you rip it down? I'd love to get the finer points on it.
Rockaborough has to dig a little bit. Stands Evans up. Evans will drift across and then find Horn again. Manages to shake away from a couple, then go out the back.
Done,
Chappell's done very well. Then Chappell puts it to boot. Rockaborough underneath it. And Chappell with a good follow-up tackle. Man. This time he does get to ground. Rockaborough comes around. Goes out to Campion. Campion with a little show and tried to go, but is met again strongly by Devine. Sorry, that's not Devine, that's Ben Russell. And they managed to get it down again. Evans then will kick it through. McKinley sends it all the way across to Doughty. Doughty sends it on its way. We'll find Kuta. Kuta versus King. What's his defence like? Defence is good enough. Well done, Mr. King. Horn looks for a little bit of space. Can't quite find anybody. Hey, I tell you what. I was watching a rugby game the other day, and a spectator shouted sling tackle, which obviously is not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not for seniors, but it is for juniors.
It is for juniors, but Matt King will be. He'd love to know that. That's a free kick in the game that he came from. Welcome to a big boy sport, Matt.
So it's always good to steal one from footy too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that one's gone straight out as well. So we're going to stay here. 35 minutes gone, 5 minutes to go. Jeez, it's gone at a pace this first half. Campion off the top again to Evans. Evans will attack the line. Yeah, the arm comes out. It's only a little high one, but it is a high one. Then Rockaborough just puts the ball to boot, finds a little bit of space. No one chasing it. They'll come. No, they'll go and take the line. He's kicked the advantage away.
Jeez, that's interesting. I was really surprised by that kick. just to go.
Yeah.
I'd much rather see them play that advantage. And
It's not very often you see a rush of blood from Rockaborough, but Doughty again down on his haunches.
I think if you take the kick, you really run that gauntlet.
You do. I mean, that was a hard and fast rule, wasn't it? If you got a penalty advantage and you kicked it away, then you lost your penalty. That seemed to be a hard and fast rule.
It makes a difference, but I thought with a high shot, you might have a bit more of a. Do you want that penalty or do you want that line? You know.
Yeah.
Horn to Coutser. Coutser with a little bit of space. Interesting step from Coutser. But Don Chappell's come all the way across and made a tackle. Well, he's not at home now. Doors will go. Can they get out there quick enough? Onkaparinga have done well enough and got across. Evans again. Then they'll send it out to Mann. Mann will send it to Fleetwood Piper. Standing a little bit. Takes on Devine. Campion at the back. Good pass from Rockaborough to Evans. Evans is met hard by his namesake. But this time Ryan Evans, Campion again to Mann. To Fleetwood Piper, he'll come back inside, shake a tackle. Look for the offload, wasn't quite there, kept hold. Rockaborough again, sends it to Dawes. Just lost it, a little bit of stage fright from the big man.
Just with old Collegians at the moment, probably struggling to get over sort of 5-6 phases. The excitement builds and the offload is felt necessary and it's just not coming off.
Yeah, so speaking of coming off, I think that could be that for Doughty. Just looking to see who, if anybody, is warming up on the Onkaparinga bench.
And it's ribs, is it? Is that his injury?
That's what he said last week, and he is going back to that area. And I'm amazed that you can play rugby at all with broken ribs.
It takes so long to get over them. Yeah. Not to mention, it's probably the main place where you get tackled.
And everything hurts when you breathe, and just. I'm amazed that he's still going, to be honest.
Can't really strap them either. Like. You put a band around your middle and say that'll do.
Sneezing's the worst with ribs.
Coughing.
Sneezing, coughing.
Yeah. Laughing.
Playing rugby. Literally, you would have to strap them up, painkillers, and hope for the best. So it'll be an Onkaparinga scrum. I tell you what, though, he'll have to be dragged off.
Very true. Yeah.
Just looking at the bench, and there's not a natural halfback on the bench for Old Collegians. Chappell tries to find a little bit of space and is absolutely manhandled by Rockaborough. Yeah, I'm just looking. Ben White, Jake Mulder, Trent Ormsby.
Trent Ormsby will go in.
Trent
Trent Ormsby will go in.
Who was the usual replacement?
Caden O'Neill. So Caden O'Neill must be injured because he was on not any strip for B grade either. So
yeah, his name's not on there. So yeah, it probably would be Ormsby, but like it's such a big one, and the experience of these two halfbacks, Doughty versus Rockaborough, and nothing against Trent Ormsby, but you'd certainly give the tick to Alex Rockaborough if he'd swapped over to Trent Ormsby.
I think you'll be surprised, but hopefully it doesn't come to that anyway.
Another Barnes Wallace into the midfield and just a little bit messy. It's done well to shake away from that one.
Recovered, and we've got a Collegian down injured. Where's Billett? Looks like he's hurt his ankle. Yeah,
high ankle as well. Let's suggest the roll. Brzezinski. He'll straighten. Great step from the big fella. Now he's away. Gives it to Evans. Coutser with a great covering tackle.
He's lost it.
And they've lost it. My word. Billett's in a fair bit of trouble.
And what a finish to the half that was.
And that will be half time. My word. Big step from the big man. I think he has literally broken Billett's ankle. Yeah. I don't mean to laugh. Then a great offload, but the covering back tackle from Coutser is absolutely fabulous. We might see whether we can get another look at the beginning of that, because I think, and I know he's a friend of yours, but I think he has literally broken his ankle with that step, because he's still down in the middle.
It was pre the break. Yeah, the break was pre the break.
The break was pre the break. There's a lot of people around him. We will take a step. Oh, here we go.
He's already
look. Oh no, he's already down there.
Yeah.
Look at the step from the big fella.
On
there you go,
too.
Faree.
On a young second year, straight up from under 18s, and he's been done.
He scored a great tie 2 weeks ago.
I saw it, yeah.
And some of the comments on Facebook were like, you've still got a bit of toe for an old man. So well done. There is the car again, and we'll leave you with the car as we take a half-time break. So welcome back. As per usual with us, the players want to go before the referee. The players decide how long the half-time break is. Interesting, 12 points to 10. Onkaparinga in front. Beautiful shots again from the drain.
Yeah.
Hat tip to... and lost. Well, that's a change. That's going to be the change. That's going to be Kasia Randil, who will come on for Billet. Interesting at half-time. Onkaparinga obviously with the noses in front. Onkaparinga really quite calm in their half-time huddle. The old Collegians huddles, the two of them, they split to forwards and backs, and I had to wander through the middle. I have to be perfectly honest with you. It was like one of those good old 80s football half-time talks. The air was blue, let me tell you. So if you want to talk about frustrated coaches, they are away to our right at the moment. They feel that they're just not doing enough to win the battles that they think they should be winning. You know, on paper, if you look at it, and it's over on our side now, so it should be great to watch. Fleetwood Piper versus Chapel physically is completely one-sided, and Fleetwood Piper should be winning that one. Little drop inside to Brzezinski.
It's a great first phase play.
They look again, Doughty to Devine. Devine will just lower the shoulder, try and run through the middle. Doughty, Evans, short ball again to Brzezinski. He's got his tail up at the moment. Decided he wants to run. Now they're going to look out to that far side. They'll find McKinley to King. King will roll through.
He's got that.
Gets a try.
Wonderful start from Onkers.
That's how you want to start a second half.
Oh yeah.
What, a minute 25 in.
Something about that try line within the first 2 minutes, because old Collegians did it. This is unselfish from McKinley as well. And I tell you what, Kuta did absolutely everything he could, but just a little roll away and the finish. Tell you what, this kid's going to be scary when he's got some experience, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's probably doing something that Kuta's not used to seeing somebody do in that situation, and it's because they come from a different sport.
Oh, Kuta's come and sat here. It's a yellow card. Not entirely sure what for.
Well, must have been a bit of a verbal job post the missed tackle, I can only assume.
I don't know. We'll see whether we can see anything. There was certainly an appeal from Van Eyck as he went across, like there was possibly high, or didn't look high from where I was. We'll see whether we can pick anything up.
Well, it's a double blow then, that's for sure.
It certainly is. They've replaced the flags around the field. There's no flags now, we've just got like little red poles, so I can't really see what's going on with the wind at the moment. So I think they are saying hi.
Really, that one on the sideline.
Pushed away.
Very interesting when it benefited only the try scorer.
Just have a look and see.
It'll tie in a poor way, not in a dangerous way.
Well, it doesn't.
There we go, he's backing away. He's come across.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. I mean, it's over the shoulder.
It's on the ball.
So it's still
on the ball.
Still over the shoulder. And he's given the penalty and for high.
Okay.
And apparently, as I like to say, technically correct.
Well, that's rugby for you. You get some that are borderline that come your way, or they don't.
Right, look, anything that's above the shoulder is a yellow card. It's, you know, and if he hadn't gone on and scored it, it would have been a nailed-on penalty try, which they probably wanted, really, because kicking today is at an absolute premium.
Now straight back on the attack, Onks. This is a wonderful opportunity to make a double blow in the first 2 minutes.
And now a man down in the backs. You want him to spread it wide and quickly. Takiri shows that I don't know anything about rugby. Then they go again. Evans, now they do send it all the way. King does well, has to wait for it, finds it. Can't get away from that tackle that comes across. Faree hits him hard. The South African tackle. One of those people who, you could try and coach him all you want to try and get head behind, but he's just not going to listen, is he?
No, the head might be on the wrong side, but if it's a dominant tackle, it works, but you always got to be careful. Always hate seeing that head on the wrong side.
Mucky line out again.
It's messy.
Rockaborough has to juggle with it, but does enough. No halfback, so Campion will just pick and go. Make a little bit of room. Now Onkaparinga with a 7-point cushion, just appear to be a little bit more comfortable at just setting from the breakdown. Rockaborough will box kick. King is underneath it. Oh, loses it, and man is the recipient of an absolute gift. Campion following up. Has to keep his feet, wait for his support. There it comes. Rockaborough. Bartlett. Horn. Nice little flick to Ferree. Ferree will just put his foot down. Can't get away from Chappell. Great tackle. Not completed though. It's on in the background as well. We're still going. Fleetwood Piper has to come across. Try and make the tackle. Does make the tackle. Well, that had everything.
It really did. From a mistake from King.
I tell you what, take a bow, Dom Chappell, because he is not a small lad, Mr. Ferree. And he's dragged him down from behind.
But absolutely a butchered try there from Ferree.
Week in, week out. For the last 3 weeks, he's done nothing but impress that man.
Yeah. He's got the uncanny knack after making that tackle to then try and get to his feet. He's all...
So I'm going to raise this question now.
Yes.
And I've never nailed anything any year, but my word, if there was ever a first-year player to win the Don Smith, he's got to be putting his hand up. He has been absolutely outstanding in every game we've seen him play.
Oh, it'd be lovely to see.
Just putting that thought out there, referees. So the maul, use it once is called. Have managed to splinter away. Rockaborough again is just going to hold that just outside the 22. McKinley, he will have to put boot to ball. He'll hold it up. McKinley is on the floor. He's been taken out. We're going to go kick or kick, I think. I didn't catch my word.
What's the call here?
Kick where it
Penalty
lands.
kick where it lands, yeah. Tell you what, they're making me work for the first time this year. 17 points to 10. All Collegians, I think, they need a lift, and they need it quickly.
They had it. Should have been try under the sticks earlier.
Not out again, so Rockaborough will send it back with interest and gets it to go away. So there's nothing quick, so everybody can take a breath. So everybody knows they're in a competition at the moment. Van Eyck will put the ball into the lineup. Shortened lineup for Onkaparinga, just gone to the 5. Whitten does well to get it off the top. Doughty sends it into midfield. Devine has to go and clean it up. Little bit of a helping hand from Takiri. Evans drops it inside. Thomas Selwood.
A bit of an overlap here if they shift it.
It is there, and he can get it away. Devine just does what he needs to do. Nice offload to Tito Matahaha. Smith in midfield. Met hard by Man. It's going to come back their way again. McKinley steps inside Horn. Doughty thought he found a little bit of a gap. It was closed quickly by Campion. Still going then, and Rockaborough will come and finish it off. Whitten fires it out. Unkers again with this possession after possession. Takiri. Arm out for offside. I think that's unfortunate. I think he was just quick. It's Campion.
But they've done that well then. Built the phases up until they got that penalty, you know.
I think it's what you were saying. It's just getting a little bit bored of the...
Yep, you get frustrated. You go, you know what, I might have a crack at this when it's really not on.
I mean, I felt that he wasn't too far away, Jack.
And now you get a penalty, you march it down. It's good.
It's such a big... But this is that near side. I think he missed the last one. Just take a little bit of distance off it, Kurt. And make sure it goes. Which he does.
Yeah, that's in the car park.
It really is exactly what Onka's needed right at this stage. He's just started to get the pressure put back on us in their own half, and now we're back over the line again.
It's an absolutely enthralling contest. About to tick over 50 minutes on the Wojtek scoreboard.
You can see a lot of these Onka players with their hand up. That sun is right in their eyes. And I think that's where that bomb went up on King earlier.
Oh, I think so too.
There's been a great battle between those two as well. Witten certainly standing up and being counted in that lineup. Doughty. Evans. Evans will put the ball on the boot. Oh, there's no one back there. Well, how's the bounce? Fleetwood Piper has to cover all the way across. Can't quite get away. Does well to keep his feet for his support to get there. Horn back in the pocket. Oh, he wanted a long time. Over the head of Doughty and will skip away.
That's a good kick.
Yeah, now they've got to get this chase right, Old Collegians. Doughty ambles towards halfway. Then we'll look to take on Horn. He'll kick it back. It's blocked somewhere. Oh, lost in a mass of bodies over on that far side, and it'll be a line out, and it'll be Onkaparinga's way. Got to be close to the yellow card, coming back and going back to parity.
We've got young Max Monfries coming on here.
For Rockaborough?
Yep.
That's got to be.
Yeah, wow.
I'd be surprised if that was tactical.
Not sure. Max has been playing extremely well. One of our juniors has come up, so he's a halfback through and through. So, but it is certainly a surprise to see someone of the calibre of Rockaborough coming off.
That is interesting. I mean, these are the games that you want with experience.
Yeah, if anything, I'd think to push him back to fullback or something like that. Just, you know.
I mean, Horn's done nothing wrong back there, though.
Oh, he's stepped up into the centres now. Got Tim Atkins at fullback. There's been a bit of a backline shuffle with it. The backs have been doing well for our Collegians. Just the last passes haven't been completed or actually been given.
They have left a couple on the table, haven't they?
Yeah, but really the Onka's forwards has been the display of today so far.
For putting together those phases and holding onto that ball, it's been obviously an executed plan.
Well, I did have a look at the ladder. It's got an unfamiliar shape to it at the moment, the ladder, but that's, you know, not surprising because we are still early in the season. Well, we're halfway through, I think, 5 games played. Out to Evans, out the back to Horn, and Horn again will just look for space and sends it down towards McKinley. McKinley this time will take it. Can't go direct into touch. Goes towards Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper does well. Gets to bring him down eventually. It's a sensible pick and go there because there was nobody else really there in a red and black shirt. Devine again. He's had his name called a huge amount of times this year. Doughty to Takiri. Takiri will lower his shoulder and look for some extra yards, which he gets. Doughty now will look to this side where they have got numbers. Devine. Happy to carry and die with it. Doughty again to Smith. And again, Onkaparinga just not giving up the ball. Good hands to Kiri. And they're away again. Oh, just that last pass, but King does well.
Still
King
on.
will find a gap. King, can he get to the corner? Just a great covering tackle. On comes out for a penalty. And I think that's going to be another yellow card.
Wow, could be too.
Very cynical.
That is very cynical. And I have to ask the question because I don't think there was any arms in that challenge. Let's just have a look and see whether we pick it up at the end.
I wonder if it's the tackle or what
The
happens
tackle's
after.
great.
What happens
The
after?
tackle's there,
yeah.
and it's
yeah, the offside
it's
there. That's the offside.
It's Sam
That's
Evans.
Deliberate offside.
It is a deliberate offside, and I think
And he's off.
question you have to ask is,
if the offload was given, then that was where the tackle was going to be made.
it was, and I think
it's
that
a tough one because if there was that pop pass which King was trying to make.
But just you know where you are when you're a player. You know where you are.
Here's my question. So here's my question, right? If he hasn't done that, does Van Eyck score?
I don't think so. I think
I mean, it has to be nailed on that he does, but
I think he didn't have to do it. To be honest, there was it became scrappy play again, so anything could happen.
So, but they've just gone back to one down. They enjoyed it so much they decided to have another go.
Certainly a good test early in the season to be playing with 14 players regularly.
It's not something you want to carry on, is it?
No.
But joint points with Brighton at the moment, Old Collegians. So Brighton, I think, if things go their way, they're likely to win their one. They're playing South. You would expect them to win that one, unless Souths go and spoil the party. And then obviously it's the top four are all playing against each other.
Big scrum here, could be. Oh, yeah. He's got that.
Waiting for the arm to go up, and it does. And that's Devine. He'll get that one, and Onkaparinga give themselves a little bit of a cushion.
Well deserved for Devine too.
Beautiful awareness of the try line here. You just see when he picks, he's just fallen just short and gone, actually, you know what, might just reach out and dunk that one down.
So we'll have a look around the grounds. Obviously, 17 points there. Well, we've just gone on that. Adelaide University over Barossa at the moment, 20 points to 5. Burnside winning 43 points to 10, which you would expect against Woodville. The nice one, the upset, it's on the cards at the moment. Elizabeth leading over Port Adelaide, 13 points to 10. Wow. And Brighton, as is their want when they play a home game, not kicking off to 10 to 5.
And was the Port Adelaide game, is that at Elizabeth? Or?
No, it's at Port Adelaide.
Yeah, wow.
But Evans will kick to goal again. $22 points to 10 at the moment, and there will be a post-mortem going on behind the try line.
Very much so.
Because you would suggest that the way that Brighton are playing this year, you've got to keep up with them. You can't give them any sort of gap at the top of the table.
I mean, regardless of the reasons, the ill discipline here, we've had 2 tries, and that's been a double wound with a yellow card coming off it as well. And I assume, does it start with a kick-off this time, or is it no? It's cut after the scrum. But we have tries and yellows together is a horrible combination for a coach.
Yeah. It's not gonna.
Well, it's going to go. It's absolutely weighted perfectly from Horn, but they couldn't come back with it. Smith manages to clean it up. Doughty again. And Devine again puts his hand up, sends it out to Van Eyck. Evans now sends it all the way to King. He leaves that one behind, but it's gone backwards.
Stolen
Turned
by
over by Old Collegians and Atkins, and now they can start to move away. Francis trying to find a little bit of a gap. Horn just straightens and runs at the big fellas. Good clean out by Campion. Monfries again. It looked a little bit like there was a little bit of a shepherd going through there, but got away with it. Monfries again to Mann, to Fleetwood Piper, who's greeted by a committee of red and black wearing. Monfries again. Penalty, not rolling away, Doughty.
Interesting to know what decision I'll take here. Quick tap and we're going.
They are going, and Coutser will run hard. Oh, hit hard as well. Monfries again. Big fella just rumbles through a tackle. And he works his way to the line, bounces through a couple. Monfries again. Have they got the numbers here? Man gets the offload away. Fleetwood Piper. Flag goes up.
Flags up.
I did feel he was a little bit too high. Was that Chappell? Who got him?
Hang on, here we go.
No, it's not. Is it, who comes across and gets him?
The 13, I think.
The 6.
No, that's Russell. But yeah, there's nothing high there. That's fine.
No, there's nothing high, but it's not what you would deem a traditional tackle, is it? Who was the Welsh player who got the penalty try for that?
He just had his hands.
Hang on, I got a Welsh fella in front of me. It wasn't. carded for that. That penalty try. Well, wasn't it? Warburton. Anyway, we shall move on. Old Collegians will go, and they will get there. And they erupt away to our right-hand side.
Good raised tempo,
Killick, I think who's going to come up with it.
Yep.
The forwards are having an absolute day out today, try-scoring wise.
Brad Killick. Recent, oh, wow, the overthrow. The absolute gift. Cherry pie for a prop. Just, if this goes over the top, I might walk this in.
Just as they
big
drew
smile
it up.
from the boy
Just as they drew it up on the Tuesday night.
Yeah. Nick Howard said I meant to do that.
Oh, they need this. And they need the kick to go. So Ollie Horn will take over the kicking duties. But just going back to the original one, you know, I am the man in the middle here, so it's gonna just doesn't sneak its way through. Was it the 13 coming across Thomas Selwood, or was it the 6, wasn't it, Ben Russell?
Yeah, it was Ben Russell. Yeah.
There's no arms in that tackle for mine, Matt.
Nah, they're underneath. He's going for the ball. If you have a look.
You were never going to agree with me on that one, were you, Matt?
You must enjoy having two incredibly biased people each time
right.
in the.
Yeah, if I ask you the same question, were there any arms in that tackle, Crossy?
I don't know. No, there was no arms in that tackle. I don't know why Old Coles had 2 yellow cards.
Oh, I can tell you about the second one.
What was that?
Fleetwood Piper underneath it. Oh, it's had it stripped, but I think it went backwards.
I think it's play on.
Yeah, it looked like it went backwards for mine. A little bit of a hospital pass to man, but he does everything he can to make the best of it. Monfries again, out to Horn. Oh!
Just a bit
knocked
cute there.
away, but
Yep.
the arm comes out. Big loopy pass to Smith. Doughty. Matty Ahag again just puts his hand up to him and Devine. Oh, the engine room of Onkaparinga. McKinley. Oh, and that one's knocked away as well, so the arm will come out for Old Collegians. This is not too dissimilar to the reserve grade game.
Here.
How's the bounce? This is Kurtzer. This could be. Oh! We thought we were going to get our foot race. We were so close to our foot race. And the rugby ball never does what you want it to do. As we take over the hour mark, and I was just about to say, this is not too dissimilar to the reserve grade game. It is harem-scarum, helter-skelter stuff.
High pace. Also, teams running out of their 22. Just interesting from Collegians having that crack there. Surprised not to clear their lines and almost paid for it.
Evans to Devine. Good tackle in midfield by man.
Go to the touchy.
One more, mate.
Kicked over the back again. Kurtzer is going to follow it all back. Oh, it took a left
It's a
turn.
miracle ball.
Took a left turn.
Was
that a
Kurt McKinley special, wasn't it? Still well weighted, rolling.
So it'll be an Onkaparinga lineup just inside the 22.
Oh, touched.
Yeah, the arm comes out again. Whitten gets bundled into touch,
We've
but
got a penalty for something here.
no, free kick.
Free kick.
Just the short arm. Disciplinary wise, the Old Collegians have not
They're going for a scrum.
covered themselves in glory today from a disciplinary point of view.
Not at all, and you just make it a very easy day for the opposition if you give away those penalties. If you tell each other, look, let's just have 3 or 4 phases, they'll give us a penalty after that.
I mean, considering we talked about it, literally talked about it in the changing room before the game, saying we can't give penalties away because we'll get punished.
Yep. You've got
You know, and
strong kickers in the game who can pin it down to the 5 metre line after you do one.
the 2 yellow card penalties though were just because they ran out of numbers and they were right under pressure. 7 points the difference again. 64 minutes gone on the Wojtek scoreboard. Solid from Onkaparinga. Doughty at the back again. Out to Evans. Pazinski at the back to McKinley. Did well to had to go and get it, McKinley, but
had to hook
did
it from
well.
behind him.
Doughty again. Evans. Flat ball to Devine, didn't quite take it with him. Did well to drop on that, the big fella who's just been brought on. Is that Dylan Stanford?
No, that's
Brendan
Harding.
Did well to jump on it, because Fleetwood Piper, I think it was lurking.
It's be interesting to see here whether the Collegians clear it or chance their arm again. I mean, they've got some fantastic backs, but it's a real roll of the dice if you want to run it out of your 22.
We have seen...
And the sun's changed now. The shadows are now coming across, so is it as lethal? I don't know.
All Collegians are the old coast-to-coast taters and toast team, aren't they?
They are, mate. Just buying my moment for the next time to let that one loose. And they're having a go.
Shows it. Oh, huge hit from Evans.
There's that
McKinley
sun.
had just absolutely lost it. How's the chase?
Yep.
Monfries is following, but they're just going to have to work from there. And McKinley will send it back. That's not going to go. Had 2 bites at it, but that's enough. Then to Kuitsa. Kuitsa will find Evans. Evans now will put the foot down. He will try and find some space inside. Another good challenge from Evans. Monfries.
Oh, defensive
Evans
work
again.
from Evans, yeah.
Nobody on the post. Now they're away though, out on that far side. Gonna have to work to ground, which he does.
Possible penalty here.
Possible. Yep, I got it.
Let's see.
Selwood there.
Not releasing. Look at this
top.
hit from Evans. That
Well
is
done.
a big hit, and I can say that he's definitely onside, so that counts even in the Evans household.
Yep. Evans on Evans.
Oh, so 17 off. That's Leon Pazinski. He's played well.
We've got Ormsby warming up here.
So that's a completely different look to that Onkaparinga backline. They kind of lose that big bullocking runner in midfield.
Yeah, but Ormsby will bring some X factor.
He will, but it's a different backline look, isn't it? Certainly, as you've lost your big, strong running 12, and you've replaced him with a wiry, electric runner.
Well, he scored a scintillating try in the reserve grade.
Oh yeah.
Clean break, chip over the top.
Off the top, Doughty finds Takiri. Takiri has options inside and out. Doesn't want either of them. Just decides to go. A little bit of a loose carry though. He's slow to get up. Oh no, that's not. Who's the one? Is that Troy again?
Troy.
In his ribs, I got the confirmation at half time. He's just struggling with his ribs. Took a whack right on them apparently.
Yeah.
But another scrum. We have just barreled from set piece to set piece today. Onkaparinga need to get back into that nice controlled rugby they were playing in the first half. It's all become a little bit messy now. Kuitsa looks inside the offload to Fleetwood Piper.
He's blown that forward. Yeah,
I saw the assistant with his hand on his microphone as it went. I knew it was coming. And do you know what's interesting? Was we watched the replay.
I would have just liked it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he's got to give that.
Yeah, he's already drawn Dom in.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
interesting thing is a lot of the talk at half time that came out of the old Collegians huddle was, we are physically bigger than Chapel. We should be running over him. So Kuitsa, rather than draw and give, has decided he's just going to go over the top of him. But if he draws and gives, Fleetwood Piper's away and one to beat.
Well, Chapel's already drawn in as well.
Yeah, so
accepted that he had to make this tackle.
So Chapel really punching a few weight divisions above his weight. And he's been absolutely faultless defensively all day.
He's not shy. Yeah. He'll make sure he grabs them.
So you really see that sun is a factor if you.
Well,
you've got the entire Onka's back line with a hand to the forehead.
I think if you were the captain and you won the toss, you would always go that way second half, wouldn't you? It's never going to get any easier. Doughty. Ormsby looked for a gap, couldn't quite find one. I think he's gone into 10 as Ormsby.
Yep. And exactly what you want to do is coming on fresh or coming on as a sub, have a go straight away.
Devine. Good tackle in midfield. Certainly been no backward steps from these two packs though today. A little bit of a counter ruck just makes it a bit messy. The kick will go away again and
found space.
Oh, it's taken a
dive again.
Another weird bounce. Monfree's telling everyone to settle down. There's 10 minutes to go and 7 points the difference.
Definitely two real styles of tactical kicking here. Old Collegians looking to run it out, and whereas Onkaparinga is really sort of driving it into those corners, and the scoreboard showing which one's working well, I think.
When you're in front, you should be aiming at those corners and getting positional advantage.
See again, there's no interest in still offloads.
Coutser.
Lost ball.
Lost ball, good.
Inside their own half.
Jackal. It's come back to it when we get a little bit of space, but Devine has it taken away by Kellick. Stolen back, but the arm is out for a knock on. Doughty, Ormsby. Does well to gather it in and get away and find space and takes on Fleetwood Piper, gets him down eventually. That's great support and cleaning out from Evans. Oh, he dropped it just on the line.
16 for 13.
I have to be honest, Pete, this is just, it is the old Collegians of old, like last year, just raising its head a little bit, a lot of individualism.
Yep.
Not much thought, just everybody trying to beat everybody from the shadows of their own posts.
Yeah, well, you get like a Gary Mann making a massive break to start this game off, and then it sort of goes, we can just keep up and do similar, where really I'd really love to see them clear their lines when they get it, try and play rugby down the other end of the paddock. Even getting to a point halfway, they might put some bombs up with that sunlight just to place some territory, because it just takes one little spill and you're back under the knife again.
Well, it's the team that works the hardest now that's going to win this game. So, Onkas are going to have to work hard to defend the lead, and Old Collegians are going to work hard and do their best to get it back.
And Onkaparinga with a massive shove on. And that's passing on Freese under pressure. Horn.
Jeez.
Has to
trouble.
Makes it back into the field to play, and the arm is out. Turned it over. Not going to find itself going to hand.
Great hit.
Yeah, the screams due to, I tell you what, they're dropping like flies in Old Collegians shirts at the moment.
Come back for the penalty.
There's one down. She's on again. Well, Evans needs to be careful because he's already on a yellow card. There's an Old Collegians player down in goal. I think Killick struggled a little bit, but you'll just see as the pass goes, I think he just rolls his ankle in the middle of nowhere. You just see him go down. There he goes.
Oh, wow. Jesus. I think Wes Billett went down the same way.
I mean,
you got some snipers out here today.
Horn at that point just needs to, discretion is the better form of valor at that point. Just put it down, because anyway.
Or try the hoof, but goodness.
Do something.
That's a big loss if he's done some serious injuries.
Is that Furry?
Furry, yeah.
The way he went down, you would think it feels like a roll. Tim Dawes in conversation with our referee. They are shooting themselves in the foot at the moment, Old Collegians. And then Sam Evans getting involved in a little bit of afters with Troy Doughty, which he's always going to push. You're on a yellow card, Sam.
Yep.
So what's our decision here?
Well, after that last scrum, I'd be looking at another one.
Oh, just, I mean, for the team in front at the moment, just
Tapping his head, I would actually, just rethinking that, I'd put another 3 points on.
possession.
At this moment.
Knock over another 3 and just get back down here, because at the moment, if our Collegians continue to try and run out of their 22, those mistakes will come because it's just not quite polished at the moment. But look, both teams are making some little errors, but territory-wise, you can rest easy as Onkaparinga when you're making the mistakes down here.
Yeah, they are going for goal, which is what I would have done. Because the grains of sand will be absolutely streaming through the hourglass for the old Collegians fans at the moment. It'll be like molasses for Onkaparinga though, so. High fives already. We're going to go to 10 points the difference if it's successful. I certainly wouldn't like to be seeing high fives already if I was the Onkaparinga coach. 5 minutes is a heap of time. There'll be a little bit extra for the injury to Furi. It's been a backs to the wall afternoon for old Collegians.
Moments of brilliance, moments of clean breaks. Probably just touched on it before as that's knocked over. Touched on it before, probably trying to get the phase count up around 4, 5, 6, you know, thereabouts, so you can start seeing some openings in the, and just probably off phase 1 and 2, they're already trying to get the little offloads going, really just build possession and kind of do what Onkas is doing well in reverse.
So 10 points the difference. So 5 minutes and whatever stoppage time is left.
It's going to be an electric 5 minutes, I think.
Takiri sits underneath it, and this is where Onkaparinga would now like to just go 5 minutes of possession rugby, which they are capable of.
Absolutely.
Smith.
I think we still like to try and get positional advantage by getting up the other end.
Divine. A little bit of man and ball, but he rolls away.
Wow.
Now he's away. He's got one to beat. Where's his support? Takes on Kutza. Kutza with a good challenge. And hands on.
That's a stolen.
Yeah, it is stolen. Good penalty. Now is the time that you're probably going to have to think to go, and Kutza does think to go. And will come out. They went 10. They have to go. They have to score, then get it back. Monfries. Whistle goes. Penalty.
Could be a card here.
Could be. Kutza's asking the question. Smith, cynical, you see, slowing it down. And anytime anything is cynical, they do like to go to the pocket.
Look at this break.
It's an incredible break from Ben Russell. Had one to beat, and I tell you what, you can't undersell what Kutza has done there, because that is,
and Ben
that's one of the hardest.
Yeah.
The Phantom has made his way on.
It's a pretty harsh penalty there in the end. Look, you look, he fumbled the ball. It wasn't,
he's
it wasn't so much
he's
Russell.
got to release it immediately. So back to my favourite saying, Matt, it's technically correct, and then possibly just given the game away. Smiles from the Onkaparinga front rower.
Looks like we've got a cramping situation there.
Smith just giving it to Monfries.
Yeah, it's just Monfries taking that little look up at the players coming through as he got slow ball.
So scrum times. I mean, from a from a fly half point of view, there would be moments, and you would think to yourself quietly, you go, "This is my moment. This is the moment that I'm going to make a difference." There is 3 players wearing old Collegian shirts, well, 8 of them essentially, but certainly the front row will be thinking to themselves, if we ever do a scrum properly in our life, it's got to be this one. I doubt again in the year of Monfries as well. Solid for Onkaparinga. Oh, no, Sam.
Oh, an arm up as well.
Yes,
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's going to be the end of it. It's going to be an inauspicious start to his live stream career for Sam Evans. If he's got him and he goes to his pocket,
Yeah, hide in the shadows.
Yeah,
Sammy Evans.
Go back for the kick, Sam. Take your headgear off.
Yeah, let's have a look.
It's late. It's very late.
I must say, I do enjoy seeing Tens put decent hits on, though. But look, he's paying the price, penalty down, and Onks really, with less than a minute to go, looking to put in some icing on this cake.
Well, it's been a fantastic match, really. I mean, the guys, both ends, no one could say that they've got it in the bag.
Off the top, Divine again. And Takiri. Tell you what, the Onkaparinga engine room is an impressive sight. McKinley. Oh, shakes through!
Wow.
McKinley will go 1 to beat. Can't quite get there. Got offload, over the goal.
Hornsby's got it.
Ormsby takes the fork, sticks it in.
X Factor.
That is all over. All over, ladies and gentlemen, from Wilfred Taylor Reserve. This is probably the biggest test that Onkaparinga have had so far this year. It's an impressive tackle from Kuta. But the offload to Ormsby. Over he will go.
And so good in this moment, just with no time left, still playing, encouraging, positive rugby, passing it, letting it flow, looking to put that nail in where other teams may have sort of shut up shop. And the guys further down the road, Brighton, have been very good at sort of shutting it out with 5 to go, and they do it very well. But here, just sort of chancing their arm to really put some final polish on it.
I'll be honest with you, there was a little bit of worry in my mind because that easy break from Gary Mann early, and again, because we saw it last week, that midfield can be a little bit, as that one doesn't go again, that midfield can be a little bit soft for Onkaparinga. But again, can you think at any point in the 80 minutes, Pete, that all Collegians have managed to put any real continuity together?
It's a tough one, Dave, because I don't want to be too harsh on my own club, but at the moment it's like that. It's frustrating to watch, and the inability to string too many phases together.
Great contestable restart again, but nice and solid under it, Ryan Evans. Whereas, as I said, Onkaparinga just want to keep the ball, and he will knock it into touch, and they will win that one. That is a little bit of revenge for the last time all Collegians came here and spoiled the 50th birthday.
Yes, they did.
So it's a nice little bit of revenge. But here we see again that try, and
Beautiful break from Kurt here.
it is, and I think it's tied at the end because defensively they've been good. It's Fleetwood Piper
Gives him a sit down.
manages to get across, and he just manages to shake away. And he's aging like fine wine himself.
Yes.
The old fella. And nice to see him back after his horrendous injury last year.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But Onkaparinga, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't taking notice of them before, start now. Because if they manage to keep that possession, the way they're playing rugby and the possession football that they're playing, I tell you what, it's
Territory and possession.
It's going to do very well to beat them.
Well, it's going to be a great game down at Tregenza, I think. It's going to,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it already.
Well, next week we will find ourselves up at Port Adelaide. We get our first real derby of the year as Port Adelaide take on Woodville. It's a game that we've never seen on the live stream, despite their rivalry. So we are hoping for fun and games and fireworks at that one. Ladies and gentlemen, from the setting sun of Wilfred Taylor Reserve, and a bit of water that I never knew existed. My name's been Dave Webb. I was joined by Pete Cross and Matt Whitten. Thank you very much for choosing to spend your afternoon with us, and we will see you at Port Adelaide next week.
Thank you.